Well, Alan, here we go, man, with probably what is becoming or always has been the premier late model division here in the Midwest, the MLRA late models. Boy, this brings back a lot of fond memories of years past of seeing the late models here at the fair on the half-mile Speedway in Sedalia.
That's good to see. It looks like they're going to start the full field. They had 25 cars checked in earlier this evening. You're going to have to watch the front row, though. That's John Anderson, the 2J. Outside of him, Al Perkey, your current points leader in MLRA. Second row, the 15T of David Turner. Kevin the Kid Coyne, actually a ULMA driver, the 22 machine in outside of row number 2. Brantley Gottshaw, the 4G. As we go into turn number 4, the MLRA feature event at State Fair Speedway. John Anderson, your early race leader. Turner moves up into the second spot, Perkey in third. Gottshaw with, looks like Kevin Coyne, your top 5 right now. The 40, Kelly Smith in the 40-foot-1 machine. So John Anderson, your race leader on lap number 1. Turner, Perkey, Gottshaw, and Kevin Coyne, your top 5 right now. Looks like as we spread out the full field of 25 cars with your MLRA, John Anderson, number 2 in points right now. He's out of Omaha, Nebraska. David Turner in that second spot. Al Perkey in third. Brantley Gottshaw and still maintaining that 4th position. And surprising with the ULMA, Kevin Coyne in your top 5 right now. Anderson with a big lead right now, about 10 to 12 car lengths. David Turner looking strong as we do get our first caution here as they come out of lap number 2. Dustin Vance, the number 2 machine, as he slows down on the back stretch. Dustin Vance out of Cleveland, Missouri, also a ULMA driver. So a number of ULMA drivers here today filling out the field for the MLRA feature event here at the State Fair Speedway.
So far, it looks like John Anderson is going to hand them what they don't want, and that's a bunch of speed and getting out front and pulling away because, boy, so far in this race, I mean, he has already opened up a half a straightaway length lead over second place David Turner. Of course, David made a real nice pass on Al Perkey down there through 1 and 2.
He looks like the car to beat right now. Of course, John Anderson, number 2 in points with MLRA with 871. Al Perkey, your points leader with 903. He's in that 3rd spot right now. Brantley Gottshaw in 4th. Kevin Coyne in the 22 machine. And then Kelly Smith just behind him in that 41. Alan Vaughn, the number 22, with Joe Kaziski, the number 53 car. Matt Johnson. Good to see Matt Johnson back out with the 5J machine. And then I believe Justin Asplin in the 77 as well. So Brandon Morton, the 11 of Brandon Morton. And then Justin Asplin behind him. Reed Millard, I believe, in that 14 machine. We'll take a look at that. Jason Bodenhammer also pulling double duty here tonight as well. In a late model, he's driving for Dustin Walker. So he's in the 14 car in this particular feature event. There's that Jason Bodenhammer there in the 14W.
Well, once again, here we go with the 2 abreast starts back behind him. I see Turner picks the bottom. I think he may think that's the fastest way right now. And we'll see how this plays out between him and Perkey as they come around on this restart.
This will be interesting on this restart with Perkey on the high side.
Yeah.
See if he can take advantage of Turner or not as they restart your MLRA feature event here at State Fair Speedway. David Turner, though, looks like he has a good grip down there on the low side, so he still maintains that second position. Perky with Gottschall. And now Alan Vaughn in the top 5 as well as he gets by Kevin Coyne on that restart. Here comes Matt Johnson side by side with him as well. Side by side action. They come down the front stretch. Turner looks like he has a real good grip there on that low side coming out of 1 and 2. Has a little bit better grip than on that low groove than the 33 of Perky, but John Anderson starting to walk away from the field. Now Alan Vaughn gets side by side with Gottschall as he moves up into the top 4. The 22 machine of Alan Vaughn as he moves up. Alan out of Belton, Missouri. John Anderson pretty much walking away from the field right now. Back to about a 10 to 15 car length lead. Turner with Perky. Now Vaughn, Gottschall. Matt Johnson now past Kevin Coyne. Joe Koziski moving up as well. So Anderson comes across as your race leader. A little bit of action here between the 15 of Turner. Your race leader, John Anderson, with a large lead right now. About a 15 car length lead. Turner in second. Perky in third. Alan Vaughn in fourth. Gottschall in fifth. Matt Johnson up to sixth. Kevin Coyne in seventh. Joe Koziski in eighth. Smith in ninth. And Millard in 10th. It won't be too long here until Anderson gets into some lap traffic. John Anderson maintaining that race lead as he starts to get into the lap traffic. Your race leader now. Getting past that C4 machine coming up on Bob Cummings in the number 6. Let's see how he handles the lap traffic and see if that slows him down at all. As the car slows down here up in the top of turn number 4 of John Anderson. Past Cummings. Looks like a problem with the 60 machine as he slows down. Almost gets into Turner. Almost gets into Turner. As they come down into turn number 1. So your race leader, Anderson, comes across. Turner, now as Turner and also the 33 of Parker try to work their way through the lap traffic. Your race leader right there, the number 2 car coming up on the 65 of John Benning. He races over in Warrensburg. Here's the 15 of Turner as they get into lap traffic. As Benning starts to slow down and he pulls into the pits. That slowed down Anderson just momentarily. So some of the traffic starts, lap cars start to pull into the pits. Still a good battle in the second spot here between Turner and Perky in the 33. Perky now trying to make his move on the low side coming into 1 and 2. As John Anderson comes back through some more lap traffic. Turner, Perky trying to work his way around him, trying to figure a way. Turner looks real strong down and turns 1 and 2 in that low groove. That's the real battle right now. Again, about a 15 car length lead. Now battle for second and third. Turner looking strong down here in turns number 1 and 2. And Perky just doesn't seem to have it for him down here. There's a race leader. Anderson going across, coming up on the 45 of Bob King. Now Turner putting a little bit of distance out there between himself and Perky for that second and third spot. John Anderson, comfortable lead right now as he tries to get around Bob King. Bob King out of Independence, Missouri. So there goes Anderson around Bob King. The battle here now with Turner getting through some lap traffic as well as he works his way up through the field. So Anderson, your race leader. And now the 33 of Perky gets around in that lap traffic. He gets around Turner up in turns 3 and 4. Now he comes down in 1 and 2. That lap traffic slowed up Turner, that 15 machine, and Perky got around him on the high side. So your leader goes across with Perky now up into second. Turner into third, Alan Vaughn in fourth, Gottschall and Matt Johnson. We'll look for your race leader as he comes down across here. Stacked high, and oh, there's a wreck right in front of him as this number 6 car, Bob Cummings, goes around. That was close for Anderson. As you can see, 2 cars get together. Coming into 1 and 2, you can see him go to the outside to avoid that wreck. That's going to bunch this field back up. So it'll be interesting between him, Anderson, and now Perky in the second spot.
I would like to be able to talk to David Turner right now, but I think he's either burned a tire or sealed a tire or something, because he was definitely slowing down. I give credit to Perky, but I think something happened to Turner's car, I'll just bet you, because he slowed down considerably. But like you say, boy, the cream is rising to the top here pretty quick. And it could be interesting now. You know, the fuel loads are lighter, tires are worn a little bit, track's got more rubber, so things are going to change here a little bit, and it's going to be real interesting now to see whether or not Perky is going to be able to match Anderson's speed.
So the top 2 in points up at the front of the pack, John Anderson out of Omaha, Nebraska, and Al Perky in that number 33 machine in that second spot.
Folks, I'm out of breath. Let's take a break. What do you say, Al?
All right, looks like we're going to restart this feature event. Let's see who's going to take it. With Anderson and Perky now. Turner to the outside. Looks like Alan Vaughn, your top 4 cars right now, with Brantley Gottschall outside of him, Matt Johnson, and Kevin Coyne hanging in there. Number of the MLR regulars not here tonight with being down at the topless 100, so several cars missing here tonight. Turner dives down to that low side, so Anderson, Perky, Turner, Gottschall, Alan Vaughn. Here comes Matt Johnson as he goes side by side with Alan Vaughn coming into turn 3 and 4. So it looks like Anderson has that upper hand right now. Perky in that second spot. Turner, Gottschall, Alan Vaughn, Matt Johnson, Joe Kaziski, and Kevin Coyne. Kevin Coyne hanging in there. Anderson and Perky starting to walk away from the field. Again, as they come out of 3 and 4, Let's see where the battle is back in the field. Pretty much single file now, as Anderson starts to walk away from the field. John Anderson looking real strong here tonight in that 2 car. Al Perkey, David Turner, Brantley Gottschall. Your top 4 right now with Alan Vaughn, Matt Johnson, Joe Kaczynski, Kevin Coyne, Reed Millard, and the 11 of Brandon Mortar. Again, Anderson and Perkey pretty much walking away from this field. As we look back through, Anderson has about a looking strong in 1 and 2, and also coming out of 4 as well. So Anderson brings him across one more time. Kaczynski doesn't seem to quite have it for him tonight. David Turner, Gottschall, Vaughn, Matt Johnson, Kaczynski, Kevin Coyne. Little side-by-side action here in the front straight as Millard loses his position here in about the 8th or 9th spot. Anderson moving his way up. They'll get it back into lap traffic here in about another lap or 2. See if that has an effect on this MLRA 3,000 to win feature event. Back into lap traffic as they come back across that start-finish line. Perkey and Turner, Gottschall and Vaughn, Matt Johnson, Kaczynski, Kevin Coyne. Anderson continues to bring him around. Seems to be trying different lines there. Mid to low line in turns number 1 and 2. Turner now gets into some lap traffic. There's Kevin Coyne with the 11 of Mortar. John Anderson, your race leader, coming up into the back stretch here at the historic State Fair Speedway in Sedalia with your MLRA feature event. Again, your race leader as the white flag comes out for Anderson. Comfortable lead up in lap traffic. He takes it into turns 3 and turn number 4 with the white flag flying. Your MLRA feature winner, John Anderson out of Omaha, Nebraska, 3,000 to win. Perkey in second. David Turner in third. Brantley Gottschall, Alan Vaughn, Matt Johnson, Joe Kaczynski, Kevin Coyne, Martin, Reed Millard, the 41 of Kelly Smith, Justin Asplin.
All I can say is John Anderson had this thing under control from the very beginning. Never even really had a challenge to put up with. Got out front, ran hard, stayed clean, worked the lap traffic. Well, I mean, what else? How many other good things could you say about John Anderson in this race? And let's face it, on this given night, not to put anybody down, but nobody else could cut the mustard tonight.
It was obvious from the even the heat races early on. You could see that he had a very strong car tonight. Of course, he's fighting the points. I mean, he's trying to move his way up. Perkey, though, Al Perkey ends up in second, so he doesn't make up a whole lot, but he does make up some.
Yeah.
But again, those top two in points, and those were the two cars really tonight that looked the strongest.
Right.
Those are the two cars. Again, the topless 100 down in Batesville, a number of late model drivers down there not able to make it up this afternoon because they finished that feature event this afternoon. They had some rain on Friday night, and so had to come back today at 2 o'clock to finish that up. So they probably lost maybe 2 or 3 late models to that from that particular race.
Well, all I can say, race fans, is man, once again, a nice late model race here at the State Fairgrounds. Alan Miller, I appreciate you helping me out on this. And, man, I'm ready for the next one. That's going to do it, folks. We're going to wrap it up here for the late models at the Missouri State Fair for 2011.